Welcome back. Sun Pharma Q4 numbers are out. Looks like a little bit of a miss on the top line. The top line has come in at 15 to 16%, slightly lower than the 18% that we were anticipating, but there is a beat on the margin. EBITDA margins at 25.6% is an improvement of 80 basis points on a year-on-year basis and ahead of what the street was anticipating. I suspect part of it could be on account of Taro, and Taro, remember, had positively surprised the street on the margin front with that quarter-on-quarter margin recovery, so that perhaps has fed into Sun Pharma's consolidated margin beat that we are staring at. Bottom line, at 1,984 appears to be in line with what the street was anticipating. Our resident expert, Ekta, is here with more on that. Ekta.
Thanks, Reema, for that. Well, actually, the stock is higher at this point because I think it's a bit of a relief that the street is working with. Despite the revenue coming in a little below estimates, it's grown at around 15 to 16% versus estimates of 18%. The EBITDA is largely in line at 25%. The profit is in line with estimates. The relief from the street is that there's no negative surprise which has come through for Sun Pharma. Yes, Taro was one part of the numbers, but remember that there was an IT incident that took place for Sun Pharma in the month of March. And the street was anticipating that after they had come out with a second release on the IT incident indicating that there could be a P&L impact, the street was probably bracing themselves for a negative number from Sun Pharma. That hasn't come through, and neither has the impact of the halal import alert really petered through worse than at least what the street was anticipating. So that's what the street likes. Based on these numbers, it's possible that the street is still expecting the speciality franchise of the company, which is basically drugs such as Sequoia, which is a dry eyes drug, Winlevi, which is an acne drug, Illumia, which is a psoriasis drug. All of them will still be firing for Sun Pharma and will still be outperforming, considering that it is now around 13% of their total share of sales. So that is probably one important aspect that we need to watch out for. But overall, in terms of the headline performance, there's no surprise, which is a positive. There's no negative surprise, which is a positive. Yes, they've done double-digit growth. Probably not as much as what the street anticipated on the revenue, but no negative surprise coming in. We do have Cyndrella Carvalho joining in to give her view on this. Cyndrella, your first take in terms of the numbers for Sun?
Yeah, a bit of miss on the top line. However, EBITDA is well ahead of our estimates. We were at around 24.8% margin. And definitely PAT is well ahead if we exclude the exceptional. So I think both accounts on the EBITDA as well as on the PAT, the numbers definitely are tracking ahead. And as you rightly said, we were slightly worried on the halal impact largely. But looks like, company has embraced it very well. And we will look forward to understand further number details once we have a press release. Looks like my hunch is U.S. business must have done very well because this is a very strong quarter for the specialty business. And that's how I think we must have managed to, maintain better EBITDA margins.
Okay.
That's how I am looking at it at this point in time.
Okay. So the fact that they've missed revenue estimates does not worry you?
A very mild miss. It is a very mild miss.
Okay.
From our numbers.
What is your sense in terms of the margins going forward, considering that we do have remediation possibly of the Mohali facility, of the halal plant, and other factors, variables such as Taro's performance as well as price pressure which would come through? Do you think this 25% plus which they've reported is probably sustainable going into FY24?
No, I think, in fact, they'll do a better performance on overall EBITDA margins. If you see, annual numbers will be 26-27% run rate. So what we are looking at is definitely sustenance of this margin as well as improvement, given that, overall specialty will start contributing better on the EBITDA side. So our assumption on a specialty side portfolio is that the EBITDA margin contribution from this business should continue to increase. And that's how it will support. Along with that, we have domestic business, which is also doing at least in line to better than the IPM growth, which also supports the overall healthy EBITDA margins as well as cash flow growth. So we believe that we are looking forward to this company as one of our top pick also, and we are looking at the numbers to be on the better side compared to most of the other peers, given that it has the support in US from specialty side of the basket, as well as on the domestic side, number one company with a better market share and overall chronic share higher. So it works both the ways for them.
Okay. All right, Cyndrella, we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in with your initial views. So like Cyndrella said, we will be waiting for the press release from the Sun Pharma management to get more granular details in terms of their performance. But largely looks like a inline set of numbers, especially on the margins as well as the profitability. Revenue is a tad miss versus the expectations. Back to you guys.
Okay, all right, Ekta, thanks very much. That's some interesting notes to accounts for Sun Pharma. They are talking about that IT incident in the notes to accounts. And basically, they go on to say the company believes that there is no material legal non-compliance by the company on account of this incident, and all well-known impacts on the audited financial results for the quarter have been considered. We will keep strengthening our IT systems to prevent against such instances in the future. So that's on the IT instance, and then there's some extra charges as well. There's a charge of about 210 million and a charge of 8.3 million. This is for the settlement of certain antitrust lawsuits. Some more details coming in, but at the operational level, as Ekta was also pointing out and discussing with Cyndrella, seems to be good, but we're still, we don't have that much important US sales numbers. So let's see. Once we have more details from the company, we'll probably look at it.